Well, hello there and a good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of KTN Weekend at 1. My name is Grace Nganga. Now, President William Ruto has asked the doctors on strike to stop the ongoing strike, noting that the country does not have more funds to spend in order to meet their demands. Speaking during a church service in AIC Fellowship in Eldoret, the president said that the country can only live within its means and that the country has been spending more of its budget allocation on paying salaries and wage bills, noting that it is time to reduce the same.
I know we have a situation in Kenya with our doctors and interns. I want to implore on them that it is important for us as a nation to agree that we must live within our means. We must live within our means, fellow countrymen and women. We cannot continue to spend the money we don't have. In fact, two very fundamental things are happening shortly. Number one, we are going to have a conference on the 15, 16, and 17 in Kenya so that we can discuss our wage bill as a nation. Because we are spending 1.1 trillion shillings every year to pay salaries and wages of the 2.2 trillion we collect. It is way above what we should be spending. We are spending 47%. Our wage bill is 47% of our revenues. It should be 35% according to the law. So we are way above. So we need a conversation so that those of us who earn salary must be responsible, and we can progressively reduce our wage bill so that we can free more resources to create jobs for our young people, to make sure that we can fund our health care, to fund our education, to fund our development. That is a conversation we must have as a nation. Number two, about 10 days ago, I called the whole of government and we agreed that we must live within our means. We're going to reduce our budget from 4.2 trillion down to 3.7 trillion so that we can live within our means. We cannot continue to borrow money to pay salaries, to borrow money to do things. We must begin to live within our means. And I am telling our friends, the doctors, that we mind about them, we value the service they give to our nation, but we must live within our means. The resources we have are only sufficient to pay 70,000 shillings for intern doctors. It is not a salary, it is a stipend for only 1 year, and then they will be employed. And we want all our doctors, all our doctor interns to be taken in, and that is why we are going to spend the resources that we have to make sure all the 1,500 plus or minus doctors, all of them are absorbed at once, and we have the resources to make sure that they are absorbed at what we have offered as government, because as a nation we must live within our means. And we are going to have a bigger conversation as Kenyans, so that when the Bible says that a responsible father leaves an inheritance for their children, we as Kenyans, we should not leave debt to our children. We should leave an inheritance.
Now, former Bahati Member of Parliament Kimani Ngonjeri and a section of UDA party